Hey Internet, this is kind of a different video than a lot of the stuff on my channel, but this is probably one of the most useful things that I've ever purchased. I know pretty much everybody is familiar with dash mounts or window mounts. You can see right there where I've tried a multitude of them that stick to the window, and generally they all either fall off at some very important point in the journey, or you're going around a turn or a bump or something and it falls off, or one day you just come in your car and it's on the floor. Anyway, they're freaking aggravating. I got tired of dealing with that, and so I decided I wanted something that would just mount straight to the dashboard. I realize that's probably not, something that everybody wants to do, so they do have a windshield mountable version of this base if you don't want to drill into your dashboard. But I mean, it's only 2 screws. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion, but whatever. Anyway, on to the point. This is the RAM mount. This is called the X grip. This is the one that you can use to hold like cell phones or GPS or whatever. It works by, as you can see there, you just kind of squeeze up these 2 top parts, and then it'll just pinch whatever you're mounting and hold it. I'll show you a couple things you could put in it real quick. So of course you could mount a cell phone. This is primarily what mine gets used for. I like to mount it in this orientation where the ports are over here on this side. The nice thing about this mount is that excuse me, you can use it with, as you can see on my phone I have an OtterBox. You can use it with a case, without a case. It doesn't make a difference. It's not tied to a particular model of phone. I had a Droid X before this one, and it fit in there just fine as well. If you like the old style GPS, they work as well. I keep this one around kind of as a spare. It's thicker than a phone, but it doesn't matter because you can fit just about anything in this particular mount. Just to highlight the versatility, you could also hold a tasty snack, spare K-cups. Out of cup holders, you could hold a spare beverage. Maybe you have a favorite stapler you like to haul around, or even a 357 Magnum. So as you saw me do earlier, I turned this up sideways. You can simply loosen this, and you can adjust it, whatever position you want. Loosen that just a little more. You can rotate it around, both at this axis and at this axis, because of the ball design. And here, this is what connects it together. It comes with 3 different pieces. You got this, which is the base. It's rock solid. You're not going to move that unless you just really get after it. This little piece that's kind of like a coupler. You can get these in different lengths, made out of different material. I got the metal ones. And then here's the X grip. They also make adapters for just about anything. They got GoPro mounts, the regular, like the mounts that are on the bottom of a camera, like this video camera that's got the little screw in. They have a mount for those. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with these, which is, in my opinion, part of the one of the biggest appeals is the versatility. I know I change devices every year or so, and I change cars once. So being able to keep a mount that will work across devices, or whatever else you want to hold with it, to me was very attractive. And if you want to move it to another car, all you have to do is buy this piece, or the window suction mount if you prefer that, and you can move it wherever. They also make mounts like this for boats, bicycles, motorcycles. Pretty much, if you can think of it, they've got a way to attach it. I actually have one on my bike, so I'll show you how that works. So here it is mounted to my mountain bike. You can see this is the part that actually connects it to the handlebars. It has this little piece down here to help provide grip at the bottom. I did mar up the finish a little bit. Really, my only complaint about these is that the finish is pretty thin and usually comes kind of cracked, as you can see around here. But I'm more of a form over function, the other way, function over form type person. So it's not that big of a deal. But this one is also, I mean, it's solid. You're not going to get that off of there as long as you tighten it up pretty well. These are nylon insert nuts, so locking nuts, so they won't come loose. You could put Loctite on there if you're a little compulsive about that. The balls on these are coated in rubber, so you can really torque down on them if you want to, and you don't have to worry about it moving. I've been using this for at least a couple of months now, and so far have yet to see it ever move. So in my opinion, again, it's probably the best route you can go. So now anyway, I'll put it back in my car and we'll take just a little demo drive just so you can kind of see how sturdy it holds the device while actually on the road. Alright, so here we are on a little test drive with the RAM mount. It's kind of a dreary day, so you'll have to pardon if it's a little bit dark. Right now, hopefully we'll get out of some of this traffic in just a second. I've got my, that's Ulysses, or however you say it, speedometer, just kind of so you can see how stable the device is. It's pretty easy to read text or navigation or anything. It's not bouncing, flopping around. Plus you can get a feel for vibration at speed and that kind of thing. This vehicle is lowered, so the suspension is a little stiffer, but it still stays very readable in my opinion. Do have a little bit of a squeak on my serpentine belt that developed today. I'll fix that when I get back home. Like I said, I've been driving around with this for several months, and I've used it on multiple trips, 2-3 hours long, and it has held up fine. I've never had it droop or anything like that. Something else I was going to point out. Well, can't really remember. I finally remember what I was going to say. One of the next good points about this particular mount is that since there's not like a solid back on it, you can record, take awesome Russian style dash cam videos really easily with your cell phone, without having a whole lot of excess vibration. There is a little bit. I've tested it some, but you don't have to hold the camera like what I'm doing right now. If this was in my truck, I wouldn't be able to do this without some kind of crazy wizardry because of the manual. But if you want to do dash cam videos, even with a GoPro or something, and you don't want to mount it to the outside of the car or whatever, it does work pretty well. So I think that's about it. Overall, I would definitely recommend this mount to anybody that's interested in mounting cell phone or GPS especially, but I mean really anything else in their vehicle. So hope you all found this helpful, and y'all have a good one.